Hey guys, it's me Seren back with another video. Um, this is a video that I actually meant to make earlier and I forgot. I got distracted by my other video that I made about the Chapel Hill shootings. But I did want to actually talk about this, and someone left a comment on my Chapel Hill shootings video asking me about it. So I wanted to make this video really quick. They said, hey, I wanted to know what you thought about the Jackie Robinson West Little League team being stripped of their national title. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Jackie Robinson West Little League team was a Little League baseball team comprised of all African-American kids, little boys, and it's in Chicago. It's based out of Chicago. And I actually heard about this team 4 or 5 months ago, a while ago, because they were doing really well. They were doing so well, and this is like unheard of, that they're coming out of Chicago and they're an all-black team, and you hardly even hear or see of, black kids and little black boys playing baseball. And it was like a really feel-good story. The whole this community in Chicago, the whole community was coming out to support the kids, and Chicago is really notorious right now for their gang violence. So a lot of people were saying how, this team was really doing good things for the community and keeping the young boys off the streets. So I'll find some old links so you guys can check that stuff out. This morning it was revealed that, and they won. I'm sorry, they won. They won the Little League championships. This year, or I guess last season. It was revealed this morning that they're going to be stripped of their Little League national title because it was revealed that the coaches and the parents conspired to get kids from other districts onto the team. So I never played sports or anything like that, but I know with schools and with school districts and stuff like that, it's all about zoning, zones and zoning and districts. And if you live in a certain district or if you live in a certain zone, you have to go to a certain school and play for a certain team. Especially within the Little League, I'm sure they have really strict rules about that. It's not like a extracurricular. I mean, it is an extracurricular, but it's not like a non-league team where you can kind of just get any type of kids from anywhere. I'm sure that's really strictly regulated. And it came out that the teachers and the coaches and the parents of the team had conspired. They had falsified some documents and falsified some maps and rezoned some stuff. Like I said, it's kind of technical, but at the end of the day, they cheated. They ended up with, a bunch of kids from outside of the district, the Jackie Robinson West district, on the team. And a lot of people are saying they did this so that they could create a super team, on some, LeBron James Heat, type shit, which sucks. I feel like the grown-ups are fucked up for doing that. I think the parents and the coaches should be ashamed of themselves. They basically robbed these kids. Now you have a set of kids, a team of kids that they don't know if they could have made it, if they hadn't made it, if they couldn't have made it. They basically took something away from these kids, in my opinion. And especially with the whole thing about how this was so good for the community and this and that, it really sucks to find out that these grown-ups who are in control of the situation were cheating. Now, with that being said, a lot of the fucking chatter and the chit-chat that I'm hearing around this case is racist. Honestly, and it's borderline racist. I read an article this morning on the ABC Sports website, and the comments were appalling. You have people in the comments that are making very thinly veiled racist comments about, well, what do you expect from a team in Chicago? And very, thinly veiled racist references to thugs, gangsters. What do you expect from those Chicago thugs and gangsters? And, I read a post that said, I think the whole team should be disbanded and they should be kicked out of the league and those kids should never be allowed to play baseball again. and, you know, they were complicit, and those kids knew what was going on. Those kids knew that those other kids weren't supposed to be on the team, and they could have alerted the authority, and they went along with it. And it's like, first of all, we're talking about fucking Little League. Fucking Little League. We are not talking about Major League Baseball. We're not talking about baseball on even a middle school or a high school level. We are talking about Little League. We're talking about children. I'm 27 years old, and I just sat here and told you guys that districts and zoning was very technical, and it was hard for me to even understand and explain. So to have people that are saying that these young black kids and these young black boys were entirely 100% aware of the way that the zoning and the districting worked, and that they were 100% complicit in the falsifying of documents and maps. One, I feel like that plays into the perception and the unconscious and the subconscious bias that people have about black children, and especially young black boys, that they are older, that they are more grown up, that they are less innocent, and that they are more cognizant of their actions and their behaviors. This is the exact same thing you saw in the Tamir Rice case, a 12-year-old kid playing with a toy in a park, and somehow people are making that his fault. People, and especially white people, it's been statistically proven that they see young black children as more adult and you know, less innocent and more criminal. They see young black kids and especially young black boys as grown-ups. After the cops fucking shot Tamir Rice, they called in dispatch and said, we've shot, you know, a young black male, maybe 20. Tamir Rice had a 12-year-old child's face, and he was 4 feet tall. Yet when those cops saw him, they saw an adult. They saw someone capable of, you know, adult thinking and adult reasoning. And I feel like it's the same thing with these kids. They're getting a lot of heat because they're young black boys. I am 100% positive that if this had been an all-white team, the heat would have been much less. You know, for all we know, they might have got a slap in the wrist and fucking gone along their merry way and went on to win the Super Bowl. Fucking Patriots. Fucking cheating ass Patriots that have been caught 2 or 3 times now cheating, and they just keep getting these slaps on the wrist. Tom Brady just keeps on getting these slaps on the wrist. These kids and these parents and these coaches are already getting an example from the major league teams, the NFL and the NBA and the MLB, that cheating is acceptable, right? So we're not even going to get into that. Leaving that to the side, I'm 100% positive that if this had been an all-white team, it would have gone completely different. And again, you have so many people that are criticizing this team because it's a team of black kids that came out of Chicago and using all this racist-ass language to refer to them, thugs, gangsters. Of course they cheated. Of course they did this. Of course they did that. And the underlying implication is that, one, they couldn't be good because they're black, that they had to be cheating. I was talking about this with my husband, and I said, I was like, I guarantee you some disgruntled white parent was behind this whole looking into the zoning or the district. Because it's not even like any of the kids were too old or anything like that. It was strictly with the zoning and the maps. So for one, I'm pretty sure that even got looked into because they're black kids that are good at baseball. 2, let's talk about how fucking zoning and districting keeps kids, black kids and poor kids, in certain neighborhoods and in certain areas so that maybe they don't have access to other things. So maybe they redrew the maps in the districts because they had kids that wanted to play, but in their zone and in their district, there was no team. This was the only team they could join. They wanted to get off the streets. They wanted to play. They wanted to do something productive, but they're trapped in zones and neighborhoods and districts where they can't do that. How about we talk about that? But instead, we're just going to pile on and we're going to make little kids culpable for adult mistakes because they're black and because our society sees black kids as problematic, as criminal, as thugs, as gangsters, as this, as that. And I certainly think that had something to do with it. And I was going ham in the comments section on the ABC article. Like, y'all don't even want to know. It was like early in the morning, too, and I was snapping and motherfucking spazzing. But yeah, I don't think they're the first Little League team to do this. I don't think they're going to be the last. I think the big ruckus is because they're black. I think if they had been white, it probably never would have even gotten this far. And I definitely think if they were white, there would be a much stronger sense of sympathy and empathy for these kids instead of trying to make children implicit in the wrongdoing of adults. And that's just how I feel about that. So I will include some links for you guys, as always, on zones, districts, neighborhoods, poverty-stricken neighborhoods, Of course, on the whole thing that's going on, and of course, some stats on, how people look at black children as being less innocent and more adult. And that zoning and districting shit is real. It's very legit. I know tons of people growing up that, use grandma's address or this person's address or that person's address so they could go to a better school, or so they could get on a better sports team, or so they could do this or do that, because if they use their address, they would be trapped in some shit, trapped in poverty. The woes of being black in America. So yes, hopefully this answers any questions for anyone that wanted to know what I thought about that whole situation. All right? Food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Peace.